Okay, VVS, Kapil Paji, I'll start with you as the senior member here. Predict the scoreline. Michael Vaughan, someone who's always been very pro-England against India, has already said 5-0 in favour of India. Now that speaks a lot. If I was to ask you to predict the scoreline for the series?
I think it's very difficult to say, like, unless you don't see the pitches. It's very easy to emotional, you can say it will going to happen like that. But I will never rule out England. They always come out, play very hard. The last couple of series they played very, very tough against us, and we lost to them. We lost last time England when they toured India. So, but looking at the new situation at this stage, I think India is far better. But I still like to see the pitches before I can make any statement.
VVS, would you hazard a guess as far as the scoreline is concerned? Because whitewash is one word that everyone is using, including the English writers. They've already predicted a whitewash for India.
I tend to disagree. You know, the reason is, especially if it's a 5-match test series, it's different. If it's a 3-match, you can definitely tell that India start favourites, and I can tell 3-0. But when you're playing a 5-test match series, there's always a chance for the opposition team or any team to bounce back, and this England side is a good side. You know, it's important for us not to take them lightly. I wouldn't say straight away 5-0, but definitely India started favourites, and probably if you're asking me scoreline, I will tell that only when I wear the predictor's hat will I predict anything.
Okay, great.
I think more important, you can think about England as one team who don't give up. But first 2 test matches is very important.
Okay, because you were talking about England's batsmen, we saw them struggle against an 18-year-old in Mehdi Hasan in Bangladesh. Many are saying that if they were struggling against an 18-year-old debutant, how will they face up to an R. Ashwin?
And I think that's where it's interesting, you know, because international cricket is all about getting used to or acclimatized to the conditions they're confronting. And they were coming from England, where the conditions were not at all, you know, right to simulate to subcontinent conditions. Whereas now, even though they leveled the series drew the series in Bangladesh, but they got almost 3 to 4 weeks of cricket in subcontinent conditions. So I think they will be much better prepared compared to the Bangladesh series.
Okay, the other factor, and because you were a fast bowler, I'm going to talk about their fast bowler. He's been their X factor. The last time they won a series here, everyone talks about the spinners, but he ended up picking up 12 wickets. Anderson, he's missing the first test. He's coming for the second test match. We still don't know how his fitness is. Will he play? How do you see that play a role?
I think their all-round bowling performance have to come out good. Yes, I think Jimmy Anderson is not young. I mean, all the bowlers have their time, but the Stuart Broad, I think he's much better at this stage.
Okay, and it's been 4 years since they last came here, so that's a long time. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the Indian team. We gave enough time to the guest, that is the English team. We're going to pick the Indian 11. Lots of talks about that. This time I'll start with you, VVS. We've got 8 on our list. We've got that on our graphic as well. Feel free to agree or disagree. The 8 that we've got is Gambhir and Vijay as opener, Pujara at 3, Kohli at 4, Rahane at 5. 6 is a debatable position, so we've left it like that. Saha is your wicket keeper, Ashwin and Jadeja as your 2 spinner. So these are the 8 we've gone with. Firstly, do you agree with these 8?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They're the automatic choices.
Okay, so these 3 now you got to pick. At 6, of course, there's a toss-up between either Nair or Pandya. Who would you go with?
I will actually go with 5 bowlers. Right. Start off with in Saurashtra. The first test match, you have to sort of make a statement, and India, with that 5-bowler theory, will make a positive statement, and I believe that there's enough depth in the Indian batting lineup. So I would like to see Ashwin at 6, number 7 should be Saha, number 8 should be Jadeja, number 9 should be Amit Mishra, number 10 would be Mohammad Shami. Now the number 11 spot for me will be between Hardik Pandya or Umesh Yadav. So I would actually go with Hardik Pandya and give him opportunity to bowl, because the way he has bowled in the one-day series, is bowling more than 140 and is more consistent now. I would go with Hardik and Shami as 2 fast bowlers, 3 spinners, Ashwin at number 6.
Okay, we've got the VVS team. Kapil Paji, to you, do you agree with those 8 first?
I think that's similar. You can say that more or less the same, but I like to agree with VVS, but I like to only say I disagree on one thing, is we don't know the pitches.
Okay, so what we're getting to know from Rajkot, of course, things change, is that it's going to be a very good batting wicket as of now, and you talk about how spinners are performing now. Maybe that's why Jadeja and Ashwin were rested for the one-day series recently. Talking about the Indian team now, if I were to ask you now, we'll have a lot of 3 choices to give you, the top 3s. So my first is three Indian players you think are going to be series defining performances? They could come up with series defining performances in this particular series.
I think Virat Kohli without any doubt, Ashwin, and I think a lot of people talk about other players. I would like to see Pujara. You know, he's one candidate in these conditions because he has the temperament better than anybody in the world today. If he stick around, the team can play all around. Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, all of them very, very good. But again, it's very difficult. All 7-8 players can individually win the test match.
Okay, VVS?
I would not just shortlist 3.
Okay.
I think the good thing about this Indian team is there are at least 6 or 7 contributors in each and every win. So I think it's very difficult to just shortlist, just 2 or 3 who are going to be the man of the series contenders.
Okay, Kapil Bhaji, you picked Virat there. Of course, if I was to ask anyone in India today, he will pick Virat as one of the players. But his record, if you look at against England, hasn't been good. Do you think he's turned the corner now? He's a different Virat than the one we saw.
Definitely, in last few years, if you see the way he played his cricket, it's unbelievable. Yes, he haven't done so well against England in England, but knowing his temperament, the way he played, I think maybe it's a big statement. He might get a 100 also because he has the temperament, and second, he has the ability to get in 20 overs. He can get 100 also. I like to see him batting more aggressive once he get his 100 or 200 because you will not get chances very often to play so many test match in India. I think he's a different player altogether now what we seen 4 years back.
Okay, now another 3 choices are coming up. Now this is, and I'm going to ask you this because I don't want to embarrass him by asking him this. Kapil Paji's best performance against England, you think? I mean, he's had many performances.
He was too young. Don't ask those type of things.
But I started following cricket, and I've told this in Open since 1983. When Paji lifted that Prudential World Cup at the Lord's balcony, that was
a game changer.
Absolutely. Yeah. So before that, I saw the footages, but I followed the game.
Okay. So we have one choice which is after 83. So the 3 choices that we've got is, of course, the 81 Test match, which was in Mumbai. He picked up 5 wickets there on a pitch that wasn't helping fast bowlers at all. 82 Lord's Test match, where he got 8 wickets in all and 130 runs he scored, was man of the match there. And the 86 historic win at Lord's, where he picked up 4 wickets in the second innings, but most importantly played a very good knock, scoring 23 of just 10 balls.
Firstly, a match winner is a match winner.
Yeah.
And Kapil Paji was probably the most exciting and the best match winner India has ever had. And it was a privilege watching him play, idolizing him. But the 1986 performance was exceptional, and not only Kapil Paji as a bowler or a batsman, as a captain. Because I know the value of winning a Test series overseas. And that series, because even though 1971 India beat England in England, but I was not even born at that time. But the 1986 win was probably a very inspirational win for all of us. 1983 in one-day cricket, 1985 in one-day cricket again in Australia, and 1986 Test series win in England was very inspirational. So I would go, because any performance which helped the team to win the match, win the Test series, will be very important in my book. So I would go for the 1986. I'm not sure whether Kapil Paji agrees with that or not, but 1986 performance was fantastic.
We don't want to embarrass him by asking
he's
that.
Got so many match performances.
About his own performance, but I'll still put you in a spot and ask you about the best performance, an individual performance by an Indian against England. I've got a few options. You're free to agree with them or come up with your own. So the options are, we've got 221 by Mr. Gavaskar in Oval, 79. Dravid's 217 at the Oval again in 2002. Chandrasekhar's 8 for 71 in Delhi. And Chetan Sharma's 6 for 59 at Edgbaston.
I think all of them are very, very important. At Sunil Gavaskar, when he got double 100, I was very young, I was very immature. But I think when your players start getting double 100 abroad, I think it gives you the strength. Yes, we are ready to play. At that time, England team was very, very strong. And you come out and get double 100, or your team, player get double 100, that was very important. I think Chetan's spell was very, very good. I don't know about Chandrasekhar, like he didn't see, I didn't see, we see only on television.
I had a few Vinu Mankar performances I didn't put because none of us had seen that.
And I think I would say Chetan Sharma was very, very important. But if I have to pick, I like to say all 3 series when I played against England, Dilip Saka was the pick of the batsman. Every time you go to the Lords and get 100, I think one cannot ignore. It's not one performance. Continuously you keep on playing a better and better cricket in England, and that was Dilip Saka.
Okay, and what makes Mr. Gavaskar's double 100 special? He got it with a torn trouser. I've seen the footage, his trouser was torn and he continued to bat because he...
I mean, at that time, if you say torn shirt, torn anything, if you get, I will wear torn trouser. I will wear torn trouser throughout my life if I get double 100. I think it's a cricketer are very finicky about certain things and they believe in that. It did Mohinder Ramanat's story in West Indies. He got hit on the mouth and the blood was all over his shirt. He went to the doctor. Before he went, he washed his shirt. So when he come back and wore the same shirt, it's a luck charm also. I think Sunil Gavaskar also, if it's torn fully, he would have put tape and played there. And that's what the cricketer are. And those are the funny stories, are beautiful.
Okay, we won't make you feel left out, your memory. So because you're not going to pick any of these, you didn't see, so you could pick any memory against England that you were part of.
I think it was very memorable playing against England and winning against them. You know, the 2007 Test series win was very, very memorable and satisfying. But 2 Test matches which really stood out for me was the win against England at Headingley in 2002. Conditions in favour of the English fast bowler. Saurav wins the toss, elects to bat. Rahul gets 100, Sachin and Saurav gets 100. But the way Sanjay Bangar, who was not a regular opener, fought it out, even though he got just some 65 or 68 runs, but he faced more than 230, 240 balls, and that was the highlight for me. You know, the fighting spirit Sanjay showed, and that win was very memorable. And also the win at Chennai, you know, where we were chasing a big target in the 4th innings, and the way Viru started off with his typical attacking style, and then Sachin and Yuvi had that partnership and won a memorable test match. So these 2 test matches and the test series win in 2007, very, very memorable and close to my heart.
Okay, we're at the end of the interview, but one final question, and this is about the recent tiffs that we've seen between India and England. As a spectator, I really enjoy those. So we've got 3 options. First, let me show that to our viewers and then I'll ask you that question.